Hi, I'm Elsie. After 23 years in the Navy, reaching Admiral rank wasn't just luck. It was blood, sweat, and plenty of nights staring at tactical reports until my eyes burned. The shiny pins on my uniform tell only half the story. My phone buzzed during a budget meeting. A text from my assistant, Marina. "Ma'am, did you know about your brother's promotion ceremony next week? Just saw it on the base calendar." I hadn't. Which was weird because James and I talked every Sunday. He'd joined the Army instead of following me to the Navy, but military service ran in our blood. Since our parents died, I'd practically raised him, helped him study for officer exams, and celebrated every promotion. "Send me the details," I texted back. The invitation arrived in my email 10 minutes later. I scrolled through it twice, thinking I'd missed my name. But no, I wasn't listed anywhere. Not as family, not as a special guest, nothing. That night, I called James, trying to sound casual. "Hey, stranger, heard you're getting a fancy new title next week." "Elsie, yeah, it's happening. Pretty crazy, right?" His voice had that nervous edge. "Why didn't you tell me? I had to hear about it from my assistant." A pause. "I thought you'd be too busy. You know, Admiral stuff." "Too busy for my only brother's promotion? Since when?" "It's just a small thing, no big deal." "Seems pretty big to me. Colonel to Brigadier General isn't exactly a parking ticket." Another pause. "Look, it's complicated. Colonel Harmon is organizing everything. He's been my mentor these past few years." My stomach tightened. Victor Harmon. The same Victor Harmon who'd tried to block my promotion twice because women lacked tactical instinct. The same man who'd stolen my strategic assessment on joint operations and presented it as his own. "I didn't know you were working with Harmon." "He's been amazing, Elsie. Really took me under his wing after that Afghanistan deployment." I bit my tongue. I'd been the one who called in favors to get James that deployment. His career-making assignment. The next day, I did some digging. Seems Harmon had been systematically inserting himself into my brother's career narrative. Photos of them together at events where I should have been. Mentions in military publications about Harmon's mentorship. Nothing about his Admiral sister. I even found an interview where James credited Harmon for encouraging him to join the service. My blood boiled. I was the one who'd taken him to his first recruitment office. That evening, my doorbell rang. It was Sarah, James's fiancée. Elsie, just wanted to drop off this bridesmaid dress sample." "Thanks, come in. So excited about the ceremony?" "Oh yes, Diane has been amazing with all the planning." Diane? Colonel Harmon's wife. She's practically running the whole thing. She's even helping with our wedding now. Says it'll be great networking for James's career. I nodded slowly, pieces falling into place. Diane Harmon, notorious social climber who'd once accidentally spilled wine on my dress at a military ball right before I was to give a speech. After Sarah left, I pulled out my dress uniform and began pressing it meticulously. Invitation or not, I wasn't missing my brother's ceremony. The Harmons wanted to erase me. Let them try when I was standing right in front of them. I arrived at Fort Belvoir's Officers Club 40 minutes early, my dress blues perfectly pressed, Admiral's stars gleaming. The security checkpoint was already bustling with early arrivals. "ID and invitation, ma'am?" The young specialist barely looked up. I handed over my military ID. "I'm Admiral Elsie Cartwright. I'm Colonel James Cartwright's sister." He scanned a tablet. "I don't see you on the list, ma'am." "That must be a mistake. He's my brother." "One moment." He stepped away to consult with his supervisor, a stern-faced sergeant. The sergeant approached. "I'm sorry, Admiral. The guest list is final. No exceptions without authorization from Colonel Harmon." "This is absurd. I'm a flag officer and immediate family of the honoree." "Rules are rules, ma'am." I spotted a display near the entrance. A poster-sized career timeline of James. Photos from his West Point graduation, Afghanistan deployment, staff college graduation. In every milestone photo where I had stood beside him, I'd been cropped out. 20 years of support, erased. Who authorized these materials? The ceremony coordinator, Mrs. Harmon. My blood boiled as I spotted Victor Harmon glad-handing attendees by the entrance. I marched over. Colonel Harmon, we need to talk. He turned, his smile faltering momentarily. Ah, Admiral. What a surprise. Why am I not on the guest list for my own brother's promotion? Must be an oversight. Space is limited, you understand. Joint Chiefs representatives, congressional staffers, priority seating. And my removal from every photo in his career timeline? Also an oversight? His expression hardened. Look, Cartwright, this isn't about you. It's James's day. Perhaps your presence would be distracting. Two-star admirals tend to pull focus. He's my brother. And my protege. Sometimes family can cast long shadows. James has earned this on his own merits. With your help, apparently. Tell me, how exactly did you mentor him through his Naval Academy applications when he was 17 and you were deployed to Kuwait? Diane Harmon sidled up, dripping in pearls and fake concern. Victor, darling, is everything all right? Oh, Admiral Cartwright, what a surprise. She looked me up and down. Security didn't stop you? They tried. Such a shame you weren't on the list. Must have been lost in the shuffle. Though really, these military affairs are so tedious unless you're directly involved. I'm sure you have more important things to do. Nothing is more important than supporting my brother. Of course, of course. Though some might say the best support is stepping back and letting others shine. James has done so well under Victor's guidance. A fresh start, away from family expectations. I spotted Sarah crossing the lobby, her face lighting up when she saw me. Admiral Cartwright, you made it! She hugged me, oblivious to the tension. Isn't this exciting? James is going to be so thrilled you're here. Diane's smile tightened. Sarah, dear, we need to check on the seating arrangements. The General's wife is quite particular. Oh, but now, please. Diane practically dragged her away. I tried to follow, but 2 security officers stepped in my path. Ma'am, without proper clearance. Stand down, Specialist. That's a direct order. We're under Colonel Harmon's authority for this event, Admiral. A military photographer snapped photos nearby. I noticed the name tag. Jenkins. Jenkins! Didn't you cover the Afghanistan base inauguration? I remember you. He lowered his camera, eyes darting nervously between me and Harmon. Yes, ma'am. 3 years ago. You took that photo of me and James by the new communications center? The one that's on his timeline over there? Except I've been cropped out. I just submit the photos, ma'am. I don't handle editing. The commotion had drawn attention. A silver-haired man in a general's uniform approached, frowning at the security personnel still hovering nearby. Is there a problem here? His voice carried the weight of authority. Just a mix-up with the guest list, sir, the sergeant explained. The general looked at me, eyes widening in recognition. Admiral Cartwright? Elsie Cartwright? I nodded, standing at attention. What in God's name is going on? Why is the Atlantic Fleet's Strategic Operations Commander being stopped at the door? The security officers snapped to attention as General Palmer stepped closer. This is Admiral Elsie Cartwright, Atlantic Fleet Strategic Operations. I served with her in the Persian Gulf. What's this nonsense about her not being on the list? Colonel Harmon materialized, all smiles. A regrettable oversight, General Palmer. We'll correct it immediately. See that you do. The Admiral is the honoree's sister, for God's sake. Palmer extended his arm to me. Shall we, Admiral? I believe we're both seated at the front. Harmon's face went pale. Actually, sir, the seating arrangements will be adjusted. I insist. Inside, whispers followed us as Palmer escorted me to the front row. Diane Harmon nearly choked on her champagne when she saw me taking a seat next to the Joint Chiefs representative. Elsie, been following your career since Bahrain. Brilliant work on that maritime framework. Thank you, sir. Couldn't have done it without Army intelligence. Your brother mentioned you were his inspiration for joining up. I raised an eyebrow. Did he? Recently? Few months back. Said his big sister paved the way. During the ceremony, I watched James receive his star, Harmon standing behind him like a proud father. My brother's eyes found mine briefly, guilt flashing across his face. Afterward, I circulated strategically. A communications major mentioned strict instructions about ceremony materials. A lieutenant avoided eye contact entirely when I mentioned my brother. In the bathroom, I overheard two officers talking. Can't believe they're both here. Yeah, Harmon will blow a gasket. He specifically said no photos with her. Did you hear what he told Captain Reynolds? Either delete those photos or kiss your Kabul assignment goodbye. I slipped into a stall and started taking notes. Back at the reception, I spotted Captain Reynolds looking miserable. Captain, rough day? He startled. Ma'am, no, I mean, it's an honor. How's that Kabul assignment looking? His face drained of color. How did you... Word travels, especially threats. I can't talk about this here. My office, Monday, 0900. That's not a request. 3 similar conversations later, I had the beginnings of a pattern. Harmon had systematically bullied junior officers to erase me from James's narrative. The Joint Service Review next month would be perfect to present my findings. Every major commander would attend. James finally approached, champagne in hand. Elsie, you came. Of course I came. I'm your sister. Look, I know this is awkward, but Colonel Harmon has been taking credit for my work, threatening officers, erasing me from your history. He flinched. It's complicated. He's got connections I need. So you just went along with it? Let him crop me out of your life? I didn't know about the photos. Diane handled the displays. 23 years, James. I helped with your homework, wrote your recommendation letter, held your hand at Mom's funeral. What was I supposed to do? Harmon can make or break my career. And I'm just collateral damage? The hurt in his eyes was real, but so was the ambition. The promotion's already happened. Can't we just move past this? I looked at my brother and realized the uniform was all we shared anymore. The promotion happened, but this isn't over, James. Not by a long shot. 1 month later, I stood before the Joint Service Review Board, my evidence meticulously organized. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you represents a systematic campaign of harassment, intimidation, and professional sabotage. The room fell silent as I displayed screenshots, emails, and sworn statements from 8 different officers. Captain Reynolds, would you describe what Colonel Harmon told you about your Kabul assignment? He said if I didn't delete photos showing Admiral Cartwright with her brother, I'd be reassigned to desk duty. Lieutenant Park, what happened when you mentioned my name in the ceremony planning? Colonel Harmon slammed his fist and said anyone who included Admiral Cartwright would answer to him personally. The final blow came when I played an audio recording Harmon's aide had secretly made. I don't care if she's his sister. Elsie Cartwright stays out of this ceremony and out of James's career narrative. Either help me or find yourself stalled at Major for the next decade. General Palmer spoke first. This board will convene a formal investigation immediately. Colonel Harmon, you are relieved of duty pending the outcome. Harmon jumped up. This is a witch hunt. She's just jealous I've been mentoring her brother. Sit down, Colonel. That's an order. 3 weeks later, Harmon faced court-martial for conduct unbecoming, abuse of authority, and making threats. His reputation collapsed overnight. Diane Harmon found herself suddenly without lunch partners or charity committee invitations. Her social circle evaporated like morning dew. I was leaving headquarters when James caught up to me. Elsie, please, can we talk? About what? I should have stood up to him. I was wrong. Yes, you were. I'm your brother. Doesn't that count for something? You made your choice, James. Now I'm making mine. So that's it? 20+ years just gone? Ask yourself who threw those years away first. The next day, General Palmer called me to his office. The Joint Forces Maritime Command position is opening up. I've recommended you for it. That's a 3-star position. Yes, it is. Funny thing, Harmon blocked your name from consideration twice before. Said you weren't command material. I smiled. When do I start? After your promotion ceremony next month, your brother requested a transfer to the Pacific Fleet. Far away from the fallout. Far away from everything, including you. 2 months later, I pinned on my third star while Harmon packed his office, stripped of rank and pension. Diane moved back to Ohio after the divorce papers arrived. In my new office overlooking the Potomac, I hung a single photo, me as a lieutenant, standing beside teenage James on his first day at West Point. Not for nostalgia, but as a reminder that respect isn't given, it's earned. And once broken, some things can never be repaired. The nameplate on my desk caught the afternoon sun. Vice Admiral Elsie Cartwright. No one would erase me again. Would you cut ties with family who betrayed you for their career advancement? Or would you eventually forgive them? Elsie chose to maintain distance from her brother even after he apologized. Was she justified or too harsh? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of justice served cold, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge stories about standing up to toxic people. What kind of revenge story would you like to hear next?